I'm Mark Mast.
And I'm Debbie Zelli.
And I'm Todd Spencer with sports.
Well, gang, it's the third week in November, and school's really gotten underway.
It sure has, Mark, and today's show will probably exemplify that. You do have a preview for us, don't you, Todd?
Oh, we sure do, Debbie. Let's see what's on this week's show.
Debbie shows us what this country is made of. Next, Mark takes us to the art club at Middle School East. Shelley had a rockin' time at the dance, and Tracy shows us our future leaders. Neil has a story on the parent-teacher conferences, and speaking of conferences, Trisha takes us to the class meetings. Recycling cans is the topic of Valita's story, and Tim takes us to historic B building and to the advanced placement U.S. history classes.
That sure is an interesting group of stories, especially the one in the art club.
Well, that one about the special aspects class isn't exactly a rerun either, Mark.
I know, Debbie. I guess my ego just got in the way a little bit. But I really think it's a good idea to preview the stories first. That way, if someone doesn't have something they want, they can go change it to another channel.
But how could someone not find something they wanted? We have everything. And speaking of someone who has everything, have you met our British import, Mr. Garland?
Yes, I have, and I think he's...
Let's let Kristen introduce him to the viewers. Here's Kristen.
Meet Mr. Mark Muser. He is the man on the move. Where is he going? To Bebington, England, located near Liverpool. Why would a man who has been a math teacher and soccer coach for many years here at Gahanna be traveling that far? Because he is one of the 200 honor teachers who were chosen to participate in the Fulbright Teacher Exchange Program. The applicants for this program are chosen on the basis of their background, their experience in education, and a personal interview. So, unfortunately, Gahanna Lincoln High will have to lose Mr. Muser for 1 full year, but something can be gained from this experience. Mr. Steve Garland.
Hello and welcome to WGLH. I'm Kristen Hampton, and today we have a very exciting guest in our studio. And he traveled a long way to get here. It's my pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Garland, Gahanna's first exchange teacher, and he's from Great Britain. How do England's and America's teaching philosophies differ? For example, the classes, the students?
I think back home we have the same philosophies as here, that we're trying to get the best out of children that we can.
If you could bring one specific thing from England to make you more at ease in America, what would you choose?
I think I'd bring a friend, because being in a new society, although I'm meeting new people and meeting new friends, you don't have that person that really knows you. That if there are any problems or if you want to talk, you feel at ease talking to a friend that you've known for a few years. And I think that would be the one thing I would probably do.
Here's Mr. Garland in one of his math classes, and the students really seem like they've accepted him with open arms. Mr. Dale Ford, the high school principal, has also made Mr. Garland welcome. If he's not in his classroom, you may find him on the soccer field, since he is the assistant coach. So the next time you hear the word exchange, don't just assume it's a student. Goodbye, Mr. Muser. And hello, Mr. Garland. WGLH wishes you both a good year.
It's nice to sport a British import on the staff.
Yes, it really enhances good neighbor relations.
You're right, Deb. And can you believe a little over a century ago, the British were our enemies?
Yes, and then we won and fought and won for our independence and ultimately wrote the most important document ever. I had an opportunity to visit the middle school when they were studying the Constitution. Let's take a look.
We the people. Do these words still have as much meaning as they did the day they were written? This was a question asked of the United States as we celebrated the 200th anniversary of the Constitution on September 17th. Many of the local schools tried their best to show their support. At Chapelfield Elementary, representatives of the U.S. Marines presented the colors and raised the flag. Goshen Lane students wrote their own constitutions and put together a guide to the U.S. Constitution. Jefferson Elementary celebrated the birthday with a birthday cake, while Lincoln Elementary rose to the occasion with a balloon launch. Students at both Middle School East and West examined the document to learn more about their rights. 8th graders at Middle School West went a step further by memorizing the preamble. Students at the high school showed their spirit by wearing red, white, and blue. As you can see, Gahanna certainly lent its support as the United States renewed its belief in the Constitution. This has been Debbie Zelli reporting for WGLH-TV.
We all should count our blessings for the freedom of expression. I had the opportunity at the middle school to see a club which practices this freedom, the freedom of expression. Let's watch. This is Mark Mast reporting from Gahanna Middle School East with a TV special on a special club at East, the Art Club. The Art Club, as it is known by the faculty and students here at East, was started by art teacher Miss Kathy Stewart to give young artists a chance to excel in their talents.
The Art Club was started to provide an opportunity for students to have extra time to work on art. We only have 6 weeks during the year for the 6th and 7th graders and 9 weeks for the 8th graders. So in the Art Club they have extra time to work on projects that we won't have time to do inside the classroom.
8th grade student Jill Marlo has some comments on why she enjoys and likes to come to the Art Club.
I like to come together with my friends and do different art activities that you don't regularly do in art class.
In the near future, the club hopes to do many activities they are unable to do in the large classes in which they participate in during school. The club plans to make plaster sculptures, experience silk screening, and try their hand at weaving. Mrs. Stewart said they hope to take field trips to places like the zoo, the Columbus School of Art and Design, and even the Columbus Art Museum to sketch animals and copy other paintings, and thus strengthening their knowledge in the arts. The Art Club, a great opportunity for young budding talents to have a fresh new start on their newfound talent. The Art Club hopes to take their work to area shows and contests, so pay close attention. Search out this new art and get a new enjoyment in art right here in Gahanna with work from Gahanna. This has been Mark Mast reporting. Thank you.
Artists really do value their expression of freedom. We saw another expression of freedom at the After the Game dance. Here's Shelley.
Hi, this is Shelley Tiller reporting from the Gahanna Westerville North dance. Right here, we're having jam and rocking and grooving and yes, dancing. The dance was sponsored by the junior class in order to raise funds for prom. With me now are 3 students from Westerville North. How do you think the dance is going?
I think the dance is doing great. I think it's a great idea, especially with all the posters that you put out welcoming us. And it's just a great way of getting 2 of the schools together. So, like in the future, perhaps nothing would happen like how Upper Arlington and Worthington's rivalry got out of hand.
Thank you very much, Christine. How are you guys enjoying the dance?
Oh, it's all right. You know, I think it's nice that you guys invited us.
Okay.
Goodwill and everything.
All right, and you?
Yeah, I like it. It's different.
Okay, thanks a lot. With me now are some spirit people from the class 89. How do you think the dance is going? Okay, everybody's been having so much fun here tonight, but I guess there is a time to end, and I guess we all have to leave eventually. So we all like to say bye.
To carry these freedoms a step farther, Neil had the opportunity to be the cameraman at a conference in Otterbein, where many students had the opportunity to have the freedom of speech. Here's Tracy with a story.
The Ohio Capital Conference, the OCC, composed of schools in the Central Ohio area, is holding its 2nd annual Academic League Leadership Seminar at Otterbein College. Each year, the conference is hosted by a different college. It was started to promote leadership within the OCC schools through a day of workshops and lectures by outside speakers. Last year at Gahanna, students who thought of school project could participate, but this year's participants are student council members. Because this year marked the Bicentennial of the Constitution and the Northwest Ordinance, the seminar focused on students' rights. It opened with an introduction by Dr. Brent DeVore, president of Otterbein College, and a flag ceremony by Grove City Color Guards. During the day, each student went to 3 workshops, which were censorship, juvenile justice, and sportsmanship. There was also a chance for those people involved to meet students from other schools in the swap shops, where they exchanged ideas for school projects. Otterbein provided everyone with lunch, while the superintendent of Whitehall City Schools, Robert W. Zimfer, spoke. After lunch, the students went to one of their workshops. The day ended with a stirring speech on dreams by Janet Jackson, a Columbus Municipal Court judge. I asked some students what they learned most from the seminar.
I guess I learned the most about how to get the rest of my school involved and how to get the rivalries lessened a little bit between the schools.
About leadership and how to, set a good example and stuff. I learned a lot about sportsmanship and how to try to keep good feelings between high schools and stuff.
And there you have it, a day where the students get to learn more about the Constitution and their rights as students. This has been Tracy Star reporting for WGLH-TV. Now back to the studio.
That must have been an interesting day. Our next clip is indicative of the parents' right to speak. Neil was also around for our parent-teacher conferences, and he brought this back.
Teachers really enjoy meeting parents and look forward to a good turnout. Here's what Mr. Brugler had to say about his turnout.
Excellent turnout. Probably have got more people this year than I've had probably in the last 3 years combined.
Students are not recommended to attend, but sometimes both teachers and parents think it would be beneficial if they did attend. Ask any of the parents attending the conference, and you will get the same basic answer. Here's what Mrs. Lockard had to say about if she thinks it's good to attend.
Yes, I do, very much. That gives me an opportunity to know what my children are doing, because I do have a son and a daughter, both attend the high school, and I can then get the input from the teachers to know what I can do better at home to help my children out, and what they in turn are or are not doing in school.
Many parents think they should come even if their son or daughter is doing well in a class. Just ask Mrs. Zill.
I do. I come every year, since my kids have been going to school, just to let the teacher know that I am a concerned parent and that I'm interested.
It seems like a good day all around, but it's only first semester. Many teachers think it should be second semester also. Just ask Mr. Beverly.
Yes, I do. I think it's a good idea to have a conference both semesters, because first semester you meet all the parents, and second semester a lot of kids only take semester courses, and then they have new classes, and you never get a chance to meet those parents. So I think it'd be real helpful to have one second semester also.
So there you have it, Parent-Teacher Conference, a long-running tradition. This has been Neil Smith for WGLH-TV.
You know, Deb, our next clip demonstrates even another one of our guaranteed freedoms, the freedom of assembly. And here's Trisha with the class meetings.
Gahanna Lincoln students finished the end of their first grading period with the annual fall class meetings. The meetings, which took place October 14th, were designed to inform students of scheduled activities for the 1987-88 school year. I had a chance to talk with a representative from each of the 4 classes. They are, from left to right, Pat Sil, Chad Hanning, Lori Walker, and Christa Weber.
Pat, what will you be talking about at the class meeting this Wednesday?
The upcoming homecoming events and the new parade routes and just about stuff they need to know.
Okay. What are your future events for freshmen?
Maybe a dance or just something like that.
Okay, thank you. This is Chad Hanning for the sophomores. What will you be talking about this upcoming Wednesday?
Well, we have to talk about homecoming and the floats, and hopefully we'll build one. And we have to talk about the new parade routes and the dance after the football game with Westerville North, that Westerville North will be coming to, their students too. And that's about it.
Okay. Do you have any future plans for sophomores?
Well, we'll sponsor a dance sometime during the year, and that'll probably be the major thing that we do this year.
Okay, thank you. This is Lori Walker for the juniors. What will you be discussing?
We'll be talking about the homecoming dance and the elections and the new parade route and like the prom date and the Westerville North and Gahanna dance coming up.
Okay, is there any future events coming up?
Yeah, we're talking about prom right now, and we're talking, our class has sponsored the Westerville North dance, and we also sponsored the first dance that we had after the first scrimmage, and that's about all.
Okay, this takes a lot of money. How did you raise the money for all these events?
Our freshman year, we had a magazine sale, and all the freshmen helped, and they do it every year, and that's how we get all the money for prom and all the dances that we have.
Okay. This is Christa Weber for the senior representatives. What will you be talking about this Wednesday?
We'll be talking about basically what everyone else is, the homecoming activities, and also one thing that we have to talk about is the senior class pictures and when those have to be in and everything.
Of course, one of the things the senior class is always interested in is graduation and the ordering of caps and gowns, which also was discussed at the senior class meetings. Underclassmen, such as Class Officer Shelley Tillery, seen here, had a discussion on money-making projects and participation in school-related activities. The class officers are encouraging individual students to present new ideas and projects. Good luck to all of the classes with their planned activities. This has been Trisha Stansen reporting for WGLH-TV.
I don't know how we're going to fit this next story into the schematics of freedom, Mark, but here's Valita with a story on recycling cans.
Cans, cans, and more cans. The Gahanna Lincoln High School's personal finance classes are currently conducting a recycling project. The two classes are collecting aluminum cans and newspapers from their homes and the school. Students bring their cans and papers from home every Friday. They also collect cans during their study halls and lunch periods. Specially marked containers are in the school for other students to contribute. I got a chance to ask Mr. Mike O'Callahan, the class's teacher, what other objectives he has for his class in addition to raising money.
It's a class project that lets students do something out of the textbook, and it also gives them a financial decision to make, because once we're done collecting the money, they have to determine how to spend it. And they get to choose what charity, if a charity gets it, and secondly, we get to treat ourselves, and they have to decide how to treat themselves. So it's a financial exercise besides just a class exercise of recycling.
The project originated 2 years ago when one of Mr. O'Callahan's classes wanted to do something special to benefit others, so they came up with the idea to make money out of trash. Shane Reo Sam Steinhauser had this to say about recycling cans.
Well, I think it's really good because it helps underprivileged children to get gifts for Christmas since their parents can't afford it, or maybe they're in a situation where they don't have parents, and we're helping raise money for the children so they can have a good Christmas.
Oh, I think it's helpful to little kids that don't have money to buy presents, and it gives them a chance to have a nice Christmas.
Yeah. After 4 weeks, over 7,000 cans and $100 have been collected. Anyone wishing to contribute to the project should contact Mr. Mike O'Callahan at the high school. The phone number is 478-5500. That's 478-5500. This has been Valita Johnson reporting for WGLH-TV. Now back to our anchors.
Could we stretch the freedom and euphemize by saying recycling is a freedom? Like the freedom to bear arms, we need to save our cans.
Come on, Mark. A euphemism is used to make a word less offensive. We shouldn't abuse it. I don't think your example qualifies.
Oh, I guess you're right, but I couldn't help it. It occurred to me, so I said it.
We forgive you, Mark, but I think we can extend that idea to the next story. It's worth saving. Tim has a story on something that was definitely worth saving. Let's watch.
B Building is undergoing quite a few changes this year. This is all due to the ordered renovation of the building. As you can see, these changes are not just minor cosmetic changes. They are big replacements, along with additions of building facilities that weren't there before. All of this is just a preview of what is to come for Building B. It will be one of our feature stories in a future show, so be sure to keep watching. For WGLH-TV, this has been Tim Lakin reporting. Now back to the studio.
You're absolutely right, Debbie. They have proven that B Building is worth keeping.
For our next story, let's use that same phrase, proving its worth, to introduce Tim's other story.
When most people think about history classes in high school, it brings back memories of boredom, difficult reading, and complicated tests. To others, history is very exciting. Each day brings new knowledge and enlightenment. At Gahanna Lincoln High School, there were some students who really adored history and craved for more knowledge of the past. To accommodate this history hunger, Mr. Dale Forth, the high school's principal, introduced a class 2 years ago entitled Advanced Placement History. Forth chose Mr. Phil Coppell, a well-renowned history teacher and varsity football coach, to teach this new advanced history class. 2 years ago, after Mr. Coppell had been chosen, he began visiting and writing to other schools around Ohio that had similar advanced history classes. The purpose behind this was to obtain more information and tips on how to get the class going. Now, Mr. Coppell was ready. All that was left was to find students who would show interest in a class such as this. To be considered for the class, a student must show high reading and writing skills, have a high grade point average, be motivated, disciplined, and have a special interest in history. This year, there are 16 students in the class. I asked Mr. Coppell, among other questions, to describe a typical day in advanced placement history.
Well, we usually have questions, discussion, and try to involve the class as much as possible.
How does this class benefit students in the long run?
Well, I think the fact that they have to work about an hour a night, or sometimes more, I think teaches them good study habits and self-discipline, greater understanding of history, and to relate causes and events and long-range effects of history that I don't think they gain in a typical history class.
What makes this class so different from others?
I think, like I just mentioned, I think the fact that instead of just learning a question and an answer, I think it tries to teach relationships and causes and results. And I think also there's a lot more writing involved where students have to analyze much more so than in a normal history class.
I also asked a couple of students how this class will benefit them in the long run.
In college, I think it'll benefit. It's going to teach me a little more about history rather than if I was in a regular history class. You know, the test that we take at the end of the year that determines, you know, what college you pretty much get into. I just think I'll overall like history a lot better and understand it more.
I think it'll help me in college. It's already teaching me better study habits, and I'm learning more about history, and it's making history more interesting for me.
It looks as if the Advanced Placement History class has turned out to be a real success. Mr. Coppell told me that the class will be around for quite some time, and he hopes to see advanced classes in other fields as well. One of the unique things about Advanced Placement History is that the credit you receive for the course is applicable for college credit. For WGLH-TV, this has been Tim Lakin. Now back to the studio.
You know, Deb, I crack the books every once in a while, and I really admire those students who go that extra mile.
We have some other students who are striving for academic excellence in science. Let's watch.
Reading, writing, and arithmetic, the basics of a good education. Hi, I'm Debbie Zelli reporting for WGLH-TV. These days, though, the 3 R's just aren't enough for a good college education. Colleges are putting a new emphasis on the arts and the science, and especially on logical thinking. To meet this growing need, Gahanna Lincoln High School formed the Special Aspects class. Every 2 weeks, WGLH-TV will spotlight one of the Special Aspects students and their project. To get things started, we're here with Mr. Fred Donaldson, the Special Aspects Advisor.
Why don't you start by telling us a little bit more about the Special Aspects class?
Well, Special Aspects was a course designed to try to help a kid who is a good student expand his mind and get like a college research type of an idea. Most of the time, science is really working, you start with a problem and you try to solve a problem. It's not learning a bunch of facts. It's not memorizing whether your nose is here, your ear is here, or whatever. It's a process that you go through trying to solve a problem. And when we looked at Gahanna's curriculum, we really didn't have anything like that. So we designed Special Aspects where a kid can work on a problem for 18 weeks and try to solve or investigate, try to find out more about that problem and maybe how to solve it, and maybe make some recommendations on how to solve it.
What kind of goals have you set for the class this year?
I guess my goal is to have 2 kids be able to go to the International Science and Engineering Fair out of this class. I don't know if that's a realistic goal or not, but I think we have some kids that have potential to do that. I didn't think we would even be possible to do that last year, and we had 1, so maybe, you know, this year we can surprise some people again.
Okay, well, it sounds like you've got a lot going on, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the future. Thanks for joining us today.
Okay, thank you.
Be sure to join us in the future for more about the Special Aspects class. This has been Debbie Zelli for WGLH-TV.
That's wonderful, Mark. I can't believe the work those students put out. And did you see their enthusiasm?
I sure did, Debbie. And enthusiasm is a good word to bring on sports. What do you have for us, Todd?
Well, I'll start with volleyball, Mark. In volleyball, special congratulations go to Kelly Worley for making it to the 2nd team All-OCC and Sarah Merklin for honorable mention All-OCC. Good job, girls. In tennis, although the season is over, Gahanna does have something to celebrate about. Here's Amy with more.
I was fortunate enough to speak with a star. Well, maybe not a movie star, but a tennis star. That's right, Julie Johnson. I don't doubt that you haven't heard of her, but Gahanna Lincoln High School has. Both Julie and Jennifer Stag went to state tournament as a doubles team, a first for Gahanna tennis. Only a sophomore, Julie has lettered in tennis both years of high school. Here's what she had to say. How did you first get started playing tennis?
Well, my parents, they both played tennis, and I just thought it looked like a lot of fun, so a neighbor of mine gave me an old wooden racket with the handle cut off, looked like a racquetball racket, and that's how I started.
How long have you been playing tennis?
Well, I started playing tennis seriously for about the last 3 years, but I just was playing on and off with like my mom and dad when I was little, but didn't start seriously for about 3 years ago.
Do you plan to keep playing tennis after high school?
Yeah, I hope that I can maybe get a scholarship to college playing tennis, but it's something I really want to do for pretty much most of my life.
Jennifer Stag wasn't available for an interview, but congratulations go to both girls for a great job. Good luck next year. This has been Amy Wallace for WGLH-TV. Now back to you, Todd.
Gahanna's reserve football team beat Worthington Reserves at home 21-6, but the freshmen lost 7-6 to their freshman squad. Coach Coppell's varsity football squad is unstoppable this year with an 8-0 record and 5-0 in divisional play. With this record, Gahanna has sole possession of first place in the OCC Ohio Division, and they come in second place in Division I behind Princeton by a mere half point. And that's about it for sports.
And that's about it for our show, Todd. From WGLH, this has been Mark Mast.
And Debbie Zelli.
And Todd Spencer.
Have a great week.